said there's a genetic disorder in the Hicks family. And our bladder is too close to our eye. So, just have a few stories. The very first memory that I can say was an official memory of Paul. They had come down to, I was born here, we went down to Georgia, and they came down to Georgia, and Paul was outside playing with me, and we were digging in the dirt, climbing trees and things like that, and all of a sudden, Paul, I can't think of how old he was maybe 2 or 3, he was old enough to be talking, okay, about 3, and all of a sudden Paul stops, and he's like, Mom! 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 And like, oh, there's like 100 moms here. So he got this kind of a puzzled look, which I'm going to try to do, but if you have seen it, you'll know what it is, where his eyebrows kind of went up like this, and I'm like, and he thought for a second, and then all of a sudden, my mom! That was Paul. And I can't read here, so hopefully I go back. So yes, Paul was kind of the tweener, and as such, that kind of made him a little bit of a follower. He was constantly following Brian and I around. My brother Bob is out here somewhere. He had a pizza shop in Hammondsport, if you remember from back in that time. And I don't know what was going on, but Brian and I were there, and Paul was there, and he was following us around, and we were trying to do things, and kind of constantly doing this. It's like, hey, let's go down the basement. Well, the pizza shop had a walk-in cooler, so we all 3 walked into the cooler. Brian and I walked out. And I can't say I completely remember how long we left the video, or who it was that actually let him out, because I don't remember letting him out. But somehow he did get out of there. And then after that, there was 5 years difference between us. I went and joined the Navy and kind of was gone for a long time. But I would come back occasionally with a friend of mine. We were stationed up near Saratoga, and hang out around Hammondsport and do different things. And we drag Paul along to go to the movies, or to, I had a Toyota Land Cruiser, kind of like a little Jeep, and we bombed around it in the vineyard roads, bouncing around. That was always fun. And then we were going to go to a party up at Skyline. If you've never heard of it, Skyline, you should go there.
First mention of Skyline.
Yes. Well, we were camping at the Scout A-frame up in Lonsbury Gully. And before, please don't listen to this.
Your
Before we got there, we had the pre-party. And by the time we got halfway up Holy Hill, because we were walking up over from the campground, Otis and I each had Paul and Arn carrying him up over there. And then we got to the point of where this is getting heavy. It's do we leave him here on the But we decided to drag him back to the campsite, and he crashed, and we continued on from there. So, still, a little bit of a follower. You got to hang with the big boys. My Aunt Dot said that one time to me when I was following. And, but he always, I joined the Navy, then I was traveling around, and kind of lost touch for a while. And then one point out of the blue, Paul, he was either in college or had graduated sometime where he was moving to California. I started getting these, I got a random phone call about 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was Paul. And we started talking. It's like, we need to call this 3 hours. and math and physics and all different kind of things. And that went on for a period of time, and now somebody stopped calling me. And then he ended up with a good job, and he met Tony, and ended up getting married, buying a house, getting cats. And, I didn't hear too much from him. But then, again, we connected, I think over some social media or another, and started trading our gory pictures, photos, and stories of different injuries and accidents. I had stepped off a ladder and my wedding ring caught on the edge and peeled the skin off the finger. And Paul said, oh, and this is another next thing too. It's not a competition, but it is a competition. So he sends me pictures, the links with, if you haven't seen it, you gotta find it. So he had his neck surgery, and I had sinus surgery, so they had taken out my septum, and it was like looking up inside my skull, and all these different things, sending back and forth, and oh, here's my endoscopy, and oh, colonoscopy. So a lot of interesting conversations and photos. But then we lost touch again for a little while. And so Barry got sick. And then we kind of reconnected, and from there we did have some conversations after that, kept in touch a little bit better. And I noticed something was different about Paul. That he was, I was talking with Julie earlier, I don't know where she is, but, and we were talking about Paul and how she was the one that would be able to tell him no, and he would accept that. And, you know, how he was a little bit awesome pushing. And, you know, as a younger person, we had a different name for that. It was called annoying. And so he was different and he was a little bit more mature. He wrote a lot and, you know, somewhat mostly, and still had a little bit of that to him, but he was definitely different. And the tribute that you set on Facebook, it showed the tribute in Napa, and I watched that, and Shelley, also, we talked about this once before, that from that tribute and the obituary and the things that Paul had done, it was like, wow, here's this annoying little kid who now went from a follower, always chasing around, tagging at us, and we were trying to push off, and now he's a leader in the community. So, very good for him. Would have liked to have known that side of Paul. So, something changed him, and he really grew and matured. All I can say is, it must have been cats.